Good morning and welcome to Nigeria Now, showing on your digital first Pan-African news network. A show where we'll bring you the front pages of our newspapers. Joining me on Nigeria Now this morning is Adeboye Fajimi. You're welcome.
Thank you very much.
How are you doing, sir?
I'm doing good.
Good. We have a couple of newspapers this morning to talk about. Let's begin from Nigerian News Direct. The first story right there from the very top is government must prioritize teachers' welfare for efficient service delivery. That's coming from Comrade Akim Lasisi. And then we're seeing EFCC arrest man for allegedly defaulting a Chinese national of 82.8 million naira. And that can be found on page 2. And now Nigerians Groan as Facebook, WhatsApp, Instagram suffered temporary shutdown. That can be found on page 3. The banner headline there is Fiscal Federalism, Lagos, Ogun, demand increase in revenue allocation formula. Two rather stunning story. The first is Sanwo-Olu reiterates demand for special status as Abiodun converses increment in state allocation to 45%. And then we see some stories right there under the pictures of the day. There's capacity building, founding key conditions for local content growth coming from Wabote. And Rivers meeting South governors seek relocation of IOCs, NNPC, that can be found on page 3. And then CBN to boost production in wheat, that can be found on page 3 as well. Before we go to the banner headline there, of course, it's no news that just yesterday towards the evening, we saw news of, WhatsApp, Facebook, Instagram shutting down and people lost communication and everything. And it has generated a lot of controversies. People are saying, on the brighter side, if you cannot have access to, WhatsApp, normal platforms where we have communications day to day, what happens? Like, what's going to happen? We have seen the importance of communication. So I want to get your feedback, your concern on what happened yesterday and how you were able to, come around it, because we know everyone suffered it. It was a global issue and, everyone was affected by it. So how were you able to, find out it was a problem and how were you able to solve communication?
Well, when I heard that, I just tried to imagine. Even earlier in the morning, when I got the hint, I was like, I was just trying to imagine what is going to happen, within that short period of time. And even here, this is very important to us. And in fact, so I just imagine, the huge amount of money, the businesses, what people will have, missed within a short period of time. And it's like, to me, it's like, the whole world, were just coming down, because most of the people I wanted to reach, I couldn't reach, and most of the things I wanted to do here, I couldn't do it. And, all over the world, everything just stands still. So, well, it's something that is so it didn't go well with with everybody, but thank God that it's back now. But I'm just trying to imagine if that is going to last for 2-3 days a week. I'm just trying to imagine what will happen. What
That's the big question people are asking. They're asking, what if this thing happens permanently? What if there's an issue, there's a glitch, and no one can access WhatsApp again, no one can access Instagram and Facebook again? What then? How do we cope? That's the big question.
We never pray that such a thing happen.
All right. Just back to the banner headline. They're talking about fiscal federalism. We're seeing Lagos State and Ogun State demanding for an increase in revenue allocation formula. And Sanwo-Olu of Lagos State is reiterating demand for special status. And of course, Abiodun is conversing for an increment in state allocation to 45%. We're seeing all of this call. Does it call for development across Nigeria and state?
Of course, that is it, and that is what everybody is talking about now. But we have a system, as a nation that embraces norm. That this is what we are used to, and this is how we should be doing it. But we are in the 21st century, and with the vast development that everybody is experiencing now, we cannot continue that way, and that is what contributed to all these VAT issue and all of that. You can imagine Lagos as a state with over 22 million people, population, and you can imagine what they are generating and what they are bringing back to the center. So until Nigeria as a democracy, inculcates or rather embraces true federalism, fiscal federalism, we cannot experience the desired change we're clamoring for. So it is high time all our leaders come together and just, do away with this norm that, this is what we are used to and we should continue with this. So if we are able to, take the sacrifice or pay the price, we are going to be better for it. So I think what these people are really talking about is good, because they want the best for their people, for their citizens, and also Nigeria as a whole. Even though we know that some people, even on this VAT issue and all of that, that some people are going to suffer for this, especially for those who are unable to generate a huge amount of money and all of that. But it's still going to help us, because it's going to push you, it's going to stretch you, it's going to make you to think outside the box. So if government and all our leaders across, across all strata, come together and be able to, hit the nail on its head, I think we are going to be better for it. Of course, they are making a good point, and they want the best for their states, and there is nothing we can do about it.
All right, let's quickly go to Daily Trust because of time. The banner headline, they were talking about attacks. INEC takes final decision on Anambra Guba election today, and we are seeing that story on page 7. Two riders is the first, talking about political parties, stakeholders hopeful, and tenure extension possible if to get all of that, you can get the Daily Trust newspaper and find that on page 7. And then we've seen Boko Haram asks Nigerian residents to flout government orders and shun schools. Let's go straight to the very top there. Schools close, traders flee as IPOB enforces sit at home in Imo State, and concerns as 69 reps bill gather dust at Senate. Let's quickly go to the Blueprint newspaper. And the banner headline there is talking about Executive Order 10 fallout 16 months after an anxiety over state's demand for 66 billion naira refund on court. We see a couple of riders there. The very top there, 2023, coalition backs northern governors, knocks Akeredolu, others, warns Igbo resident in north against IPOB sit at home, urges action before Anambra November 6 Guba poll. Let's talk about all of these orders that we've been seeing recently. I think for almost 2 years now, we're seeing different phases of this sit-at-home order. What does this say for Nigeria as a country? If we're having a group, the indigenous people of Biafra, proclaiming a day for people to sit at home, what does this say of our security architecture? What does this say of Nigeria as a country?
It still tells us that some people are not feeling a sense of belonging. They feel they are marginalized. They feel they are not part of the system. They feel they are being cheated. They feel they are being enslaved. And until we give them, a sense of, until they feel that they are part of the system, they feel they are part of the process, and they feel that they are key stakeholders, in the journey of, of a good Nigerian. That will not stop, and that still bands on leaders and what we have been saying. So it is still they are not the only one making agitation that they want to go. We also have from the Yoruba side and all of that.
Yes.
So rather than just though they also have their own part, do you understand? But I think it is a very chronic problem that has degenerated to this level. And what I expect our leaders to do is to call these guys, and listen to them, feel their pain, and come up with a very drastic approach to address this issue. And then not just even telling them that what they want to do, they should, show it in their action. So that if I've not been to that part, but many people who have been to that part, I've given all stories how bad the situation is, and you can imagine some people have some resources, and you go there, you acquire the resources, and they are wallowing in abject poverty. The environment is bad and all of that. So there is no way they will not retaliate. So I would just advise that the government listens to them and do whatever they think they can do, to ensure that all this does come to an end, because it is too much.
All right. The Daily Times newspaper right here from the very top, we're seeing South governors resolve to join VAT, that's value-added tax suit in Supreme Court rather, to launch regional security outfit soon. All of that story can be found on page 2 of the Daily Times. The banner headline there is 2023, of course, it's election. If you don't bid, you can't win. Osinbajo tells youth, says power is never handed on a platter. All of these stories can be found on the Daily Times newspaper. Let's quickly go to the Punch. Tension rises in Southeast. Military begins operation against killings. Others, 3 riders, military police show off force creates confusion in Imo offices, market, others shut. We have a couple of other stories, and the last newspaper is on The Nation. Zoning ripples widening in PDP over party chair. The two riders is North South scheme ahead of neck. We are strong enough to withstand any storm. We have a couple of stories across all of these newspapers. Just grab yourself a copy and stay updated. And don't forget, you can always stay updated on our website. That's www.tostvnetwork.com. And of course, follow us across all our social media platforms so you do not miss out on any information we have for you. Again, thank you again for joining us on Nigeria Now. We hope we see you tomorrow. I am Merciful Ajinamo.